other day I was telling about sage Vasishta. I was telling in Tamil. Mm, Now I want to tell in English. Whatever I remember, I would like to tell you.
How many of you heard that Vasishtha?
I heard.
I didn't hear.
For to impart two qualities, to develop two qualities in us. I would like to tell this story. See, why we read stories from Purana or epics, why we read. We cannot, people argue that it happened, really happened, it is an imaginary epic, all that. Let us not go into that argument. But these stories convey us some message. So it would be nice to read. If there are so many characters, of course it would be very confusing, but if you get into the habit of reading such stories, it won't be very confusing, it will be very interesting. We have to find out what is the core from this story. So these are all very long stories. You can study for years and years continuously. So I just took two important values from this sage Vasishtha story, knowing about his character's life. One is forgiveness. One is forgiveness, and second value is impermanence of life. See, we all know that life is not permanent. Nothing is permanent, we all know. But sometimes we think that certain things are very permanent to us. So they keep changing. Twists and turns come in life. So when twists and turns come in life, we have to accept. So we are all very ordinary human beings. When you see the entire universe, they say there are parallel universes, not only the solar system, they have parallel. See, I am going to give you, as teachers, a lot of, some information bit. But when we tell to students, you can just make it what is applicable to them. So when I'm just telling you this universe, let us not take this to children. So universe, they say the solar system is a very, very small universe comparing to so many other universes. And we are all just a speck in that. Just a speck means a small dust, a very small dust. So for the small dust, we assume we should have bungalows, we should have all materialistic for our comfort, and we also get into emotions and pride, vanity. We develop so many qualities. But these qualities are not meant for our life. Only we have acquired these qualities. Okay, Sage Vasishta, his time of living, his life is not given very correctly. Nobody is able to trace the exact life time of this sage. He lived when Rama lived, because it is in Ramayana. We can assume 6,000 years ago, but it may not be right and it may not be wrong. We don't know the exact time. You can assume 6,000. They say so many thousands, more than 6,000. We don't know. But definitely, not more than 20,000. Because when we study evolution, when we compare with science, so we can maybe 6,000, 8,000 years ago. They can live, and they lived in different yuga. They say Shatru Yuga, now it is Kali Yuga. They say the 4 yugas repeatedly come as a cycle. So he lived in which yuga? He lived in Treta Yuga. Ramayana came in Treta Yuga. He lived in Treta Yuga. He is considered, he is worshipped as a great sage even now, and he is the most revered sage. Most revered, most people sought after him, admired him, respected him a lot. There is a temple for Vasishta in Gauhati Assam, Ujjaini, near Himalayas. People worship him as God. was an incarnation by Brahma. They say this Vasishta is the third Vasishta. There were two previous Vasishtas. They say so many Buddhas, so many Abhayas, that he is the third Vasishta. And he was born in a, I think he was born in a Brahmin family. But he didn't want to become a priest or he didn't want to become a sage. But while doing the incarnation itself, Brahma was telling him that you are going to be the guru of avatar of Vishnu, that is Rama. For that only I am making, I am giving you birth. So you have to be a priest, you have to be a guru. Okay, then he accepted that because he could be the guru of Rama. For that he accepted. Otherwise he wanted to become a king and he wanted to enjoy and all that. Okay, he accepted and he is born and he was Vasishta. He was a very learned person, very, very scholarly, and he wrote the seventh mandala of Rigveda. Rigvedam, you have Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana, Vedas. Well, Vedas, when they appeared, people don't know, but this time, he wrote the seventh mandala, we call it chapter, seventh mandala of this Rigveda. So, he was so scholarly and it was all in Sanskrit. How people came to know about this Vasishta and everything is, in later, these things were translated into Persian language. Only after translation into Persian language, people came to know about all these things. This Vasishta, he married Arundhati. Arundhati is also was a very a lady with so many fine qualities, and Vasishta also was with very fine qualities. So both were so much admired, appreciated, and respected even by gods, even by what do you call it? Devas or angels in the heaven. He is one of the Sabda Rishis. Sabda means seven. He is one of the seven rishis. These seven rishis are they are stars in the sky. You have different names, Angiras, so many, seven. He is one of the seven rishis. They say these seven rishis first originated before the concept of God. These seven rishis are considered even now, even if something is happening in heaven, these rishis are invited. And only this rishi, Vasishta, is invited with his wife because Arundhati is considered as a goddess. She's so great, it seems. Arundhati. That is why the thing during wedding you have to look at Arundhati. She's in the form of a star. Saptarishi Mandalam is there. You study astronomy. They say Saptarishi Mandalam. They say the rishis are there in the form of stars and the Arundhati star. Why the husband shows that Arundhati star is? You have to be like Arundhati and I will be also. It is for the male also it is there in the Veda. For the male also, I'll be also very protective to you. I'll be with fine qualities. They both take a vow. They pledge. They take a pledge and they marry and all that. It is all very meaningful. Nobody explained it beautifully. That is why people don't know the correct meaning. It was all very massive program. So it was all very meaningful. I'm sorry to interrupt this point because see, those days people didn't give very nice scriptures. Nowadays, some gurus like Sadhguru, other gurus, they study so many things and they give. I just come to know that this Deepavali is, of course, they say Narakasura, it's all that. The real meaning is, according to the season, they conducted the festival to improve our mental health and physical health. Because the winter comes in from the Kartiki month, the winter comes in, all the nervous system will go down. You will get depression because of the gloomy atmosphere. So you have to light lamps, sing songs, and you should enjoy to elevate ourselves and to maintain our health. And it is called, no, you all know that Dhanvantri is the inventor of Ayurveda. He is the reincarnation of Vishnu, they say. So this Dhanvantri Trayodasi, that day is Deepavali. In North India they say Dhanteras. Dhanteras is, they have shortened this Dhanvantri and Trayodasi, and they have just
13 is Tera.
Yeah,
Tera is 13.
Yeah.
Trayodashi is also Tithi. Trayodashi.
Yeah.
Dasami,
Yeah.
Egadasi, Dwadashi, Trayodashi. Trayodashi 13.
Yeah. 13th, that is the 13th day from new moon. No?
Yes.
So so that day you have to worship Dhanvantri. That is for health, for the improvement of health. Somehow, if health is there, wealth would come. It is connected to Kubera Puja, Lakshmi Puja. It's all assumptions, imaginations only. Just go with the season, live with nature, and there are some reverberations, they say, it is called vibrations. So that during the Deepavali day and continuously for 5 days, that vibration will be at its peak, it seems. So if you pray for that, you will get all that vibration, positive vibration. That is the real meaning of Deepavali. Okay, okay, let us wind up that. So this sage, what is the sage? Yeah, Vasishtha. He had a cow. That cow's name is Kamadevu cow. Its name is Nandini. Nandini cow. Yeah, it's a Kamadevu. It used to give whatever you wish, whatever the sage wishes. It used to give. So many people were envious about this sage that he is only possessing, because he had so many powers. He had that cow. He was very powerful, but he was not at all misusing. He was very courteous, humble, and all that. Very good. See, there was one king living nearby, and they come under Ishwaku dynasty. The great power is Surya dynasty. In that Surya dynasty, this is Ishwaku dynasty. In Ishwaku dynasty only this Dasaratha comes, Rama comes. So he is the guru for this Ishwaku dynasty. There is in the nearby, under this dynasty, there is another king called Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra. The other day I just used a wrong name. So Vishwamitra was a king. Vishwamitra, with all his soldiers, he came for hunting into the forest. The sage was living in the forest. He was coming with so many soldiers and all that. He came to his ashram. He worshipped the sage Vasishtha, and he prayed. Then sage Vasishtha just gave a big banquet, dinner, feast to this Vishwamitra. Not only to him, to all the fellow people, soldiers. He gave a big feast. They all enjoyed, and this Vishwamitra. Just he was pondering, how come this in the forest without anything, how come this king is able to give a big feast to entire king and the entire troop? How come? Then he saw the cow. Then he found out that only with this cow he is giving. He asked the sage, he's telling, this cow gives me everything. Then he wanted to take that cow. Vishwamitra wants to take this cow. So he asked the sage, he said, no, I cannot give this cow to you. Then he wanted to fight with the sage, and he started giving so many troubles to this Vasishtha. This Vishwamitra started giving troubles. This sage has so many children, they say 100 children. In that, one child's name is there, that is Shakti. Okay, some Shakti. It has some Shakti. that Shakti's name is given, others don't, all 99 children we don't. Because Vishwakarma started fighting with the children and Vishwamitra started fighting with these children, started killing, and he wanted to snatch this cow from him. It's giving a lot of troubles. But he could not win at all. He could not win. And he thought, how should I become very powerful like this Vasishtha? I'm a king, but I'm not very powerful like this king. He has so much wisdom. So how to become very powerful like this sage? Then he realizes that you have to observe penance, you have to observe austerities, and only then you will get that power. So he goes to Himalayas and he observes penance. He observes all the austerities, tapas, tapas.
He is a Brahma Rishi, no? Vasishtha is a Brahma Rishi.
Yeah, Vasishtha is a Brahma Rishi. So this tapas, they say he stayed in tapas for 2000 years or 1000 plus years. We don't know the span how they calculate. So he finishes his tapas and he is coming back. When he comes back, he is Vasishtha is Brahma Rishi. So Brahma Rishi means you should attain. It's like a degree, PhD, postdoctoral. They should know. So Vasishtha is Brahma Rishi. This Vishwamitra also wants to become Brahma Rishi. So he is praying to Lord Indra, all people from heaven, and Indra was giving some troubles to Vishwamitra while performing this penance. But he came over all those troubles. Okay? Some hurdles he gives, but he came over it, and at last Indra had to give this Brahma Rishi to this Vishwamitra. So he got that, and he's coming. He's coming to the sage, his opponent. And he wants to go higher than his opponent. So he's coming, and he thought, no, he could get everything from you, Kamadeva, everything. And he's coming. But he had the pride in him. He had the pride, he is coming. See, those days, if a Brahma Rishi like Vasishtha has to accept another Brahma Rishi. Imagine, no, I'm a doctoral person. No. In academic field, it is also like that. A doctoral, postdoctoral person, when he gives the doctorate to another person, it seems they have to greet that person. The sage has to greet. Only then this sage has accepted Vishwamitra as Brahma Rishi. Okay? So he's coming, and he is just worshipping, and he's telling, the sage didn't greet him. Vasishtha didn't greet him because Vishwamitra had pride in him. One should not have pride at all after doing penance. Should not have pride, vanity. He had that ego. Oh, I am just bigger than this sage Vasishtha. I have done all this. No, I have received postdoctoral. How come an LKG teacher talk to me? I am a very postdoc. I have done my research, everything. I don't greet that LKG teacher. No, after so many work she had done. Like that it is. So very powerful that Vishwamitra. So he is coming, and he didn't greet. Then Vishwamitra realized. He knows he didn't greet me, so he's not accepting me. So, because he's thinking, because I killed his sons, I killed his children, that is why he's not accepting. But when he was just returning from the hut, he heard sage Vasishtha telling his wife in praise of Vishwamitra. He didn't greet him, but he was praising that person to his wife. See, nobody can do penance like Vishwamitra. He's really great. He was praising, but he didn't greet him, but he was praising. Hearing that, Vishwamitra's vanity came down. Okay, his ego came down, and he felt really, I was very egoistic. I had the pride. That is why he didn't greet me, but he knows my values. He's really great. Then he goes again and he falls at his feet. That time he greeted Vishwamitra and he accepted him as Brahmarishi. He accepted his postdoctoral degree. Okay, he accepted.
Vasishtha Vayala Brahmarishi.
That is why, yeah, he accepted. Because his vanity. Here comes the forgiveness of the sage. They say he could have retaliated, revenge. He could have taken revenge against this Vishwamitra, but he didn't take revenge. He forgave. So for forgiveness, even for so many sins, whatever it is, the sage Vasishtha forgave. So for forgiveness, we can take this story. So if you want to know about Vishwamitra, Vishwamitra has a lot of other things. Once he came into the forest and he fell in love with Menaka and two children. No? One is Shakuntala and another is Shushruta. Shushruta is the father of plastic surgery, very famous in Ayurveda. The sage Vasishtha would a grandchild with Parashura. Parashura is the father of astrology. Okay, all astrological things are connected. Even now, Parashura is followed by great scholars in astrology. Parashura's son is Vyasa. Great grandchild. Grandchild is Parashura. Great grandchild is Vyasa. Okay, great grandchild. So this Vishwamitra also he becomes.
The Vyasa one who come in Mahabharata.
Same Vyasa.
He was the Santanu's father.
Yes.
Great grandchild. So it comes. They say the span is 1,000 years. Their lifespan is not like the 70 years.
70 years.
So Vyasa and this sage Vasishtha faced a lot of troubles because of the scout who had. Once from heaven, Ashtavasu came. Ashtavasu means 8 people. They are called Ashtavasu. They are great people in heaven. They came with their wives to worship sage Vasishtha. They came and they worshipped. And after seeing the cow, the wives wanted to grab that cow, like how we go to GRT. We fell in love with the bangles, and we want to go on some saris. These wives
We fell in love with Nadia.
the cows and they wanted to grab the cow. They told their husbands, we are very good, we can't tell our husbands.
Those days wives only fell in love with their animals. One was in deer, one was in this. But they got trouble.
See, they couldn't get from the sage, they tried. But one of the Ashtavashus started torturing this cow. He wanted to get that, he was styling that, he wanted to pull that. So, sage Vasishtha he just curses all the Ashtavasus to be born as ordinary human beings. They were born and they were just thrown into Ganges. One of the Ashtavashus is Bhishma, Pidamahar Bhishma. He alone lives long. One of the Ashtavashus, he lived long. Is it mine? Yeah, he lives for a long time. Call is from Harini. We are planning for a topic on debate. So he's Bhishma. Bhishma, he lived long. He didn't marry, but his life prolonged because he tortured the cow too much. That's why and he was his last days were in the thorn bed, nails bed, and all that. So this, Vishwamitra. So for forgiveness and impermanence. See why impermanence is. See this say Vasishtha Vayal Brahmarishi. That is why when something is said, if somebody comes and if a big professor comes and tells you are all telling very good stories, wonderful. Maybe that professor doesn't appreciate anyone. First time he is telling, then they will say Vasishtha Vayal Brahmarishi. That person should have lot of talents, and that person, it is very great, difficult to get appreciation from that person. Then we say Vasishta Vaya Brahmarishi. We tell at home also,
Yeah.
from somebody, a elder person, we praise, we say, oh, Vasishta Vaya Brahmarishi. We say, you know,
Yeah.
some. So, அதனால தான் இந்த saying வந்தது. வசிஷ்டர் வந்து பிரம்மரிஷின்னு சொல்லிட்டார். So Vasishta Vayal Brahmarishi. That term, origin of this phrase is from here. Origin of this phrase. எதனால அப்படி சொல்றாங்க? So this one is that, and impermanence. So did sage Vasishta live like this? And Vishwamitra also wrote the second mandala of Rig Veda. Vishwamitra also became very scholarly after his penance. He wrote the second mandala of Rig Veda. They have all contributed, and there are so many slokas in Sanskrit, and there is also Vasishta Yoga. There is a book called Vasishta Yoga. It is followed even now in many universities in so many aspects, okay, regarding Sanskrit, regarding yogic science, in so many aspects, social science, even now it is followed. Vasishta Yoga, that book is translated and it is followed. Vasishta's contribution is so much. He has also given so many procedures about how to perform yagams. He has given, and he is considered a Rigvid. Rigvid is the person who is a great assistant in doing yaga. So one of the greatest Rigvid, it seems. So many yagam procedures are given, and Kalidas wrote Raghuvamsam. So Kalidasa in Raghuvamsam, he had quoted all these Yoga Vasishta, about Vasishta's yaga techniques are all quoted. So this, see, did he have all these qualities permanently? So again, see, that people came to conquer even Vasishta. One, you would have heard Jamadagni Munivar. Full of anger, Jamadagni. If a person is, Durvasa is also, if a person is always angry, they used to say, I mean, Jamadagni, they would say Durvasa, they say Jamadagni also, they say.
Okay.
Jamadagni
Vishwamitra also a very angry
person.
Yeah, but
he always
cursing. But they were all scholarly, very scholarly. Had lot of powers and all that. So this, this sage started retaliating who killed his sons. Later he started retaliating Vishwamitra. He again got back his sons. There are some stories like that started, and slowly he was losing his powers. See, all these powers will remain only for a certain period. It won't be permanent. Even they say for gods there will not be power all the time. That is why we celebrate Durga. During that Durga Puja only, they say that vibration will be so much. So Dhanvantri vibration will be so much during this time. Kartikeya, Ayyappan's vibration. That's Kandasashti period, Muruga's vibration. They say it is all only in the form of vibration. That is why the worship is there, they say. And so this his powers start diminuting. And this Jamadagni Munivar conquered the sage. So all his powers got transformed to Jamadagni Munivar. So he became powerless and he goes, that's all. It is impermanence. This happens in all life. Even you take Jayalalitha's life. Was she powerful during her, how her end was?
Yeah.
Even Lord Krishna was not powerful at the end. So impermanence of life is the nature of this earth. We can't be permanent. Even they say Mahalakshmi will not be in one place. Sometimes you will be rich, sometimes you will be poor, sometimes you will have knowledge, sometimes you will forget everything. Even Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, during his last few years, he forgot everything, it seems, and he was not at all normal. He went mad, it seems. So you have to be very careful, not thinking.
It's for all when they
So
grow.
everything will change. That's what Osho is telling. Everything has two poles. Once you are beautiful, then you become ugly. once you were very healthy, you become unhealthy. Once you were rich, you become. Once you are knowledgeable, you become dull. Or I vice versa. In the beginning, you were dull, you become. All that, it's all poles only. That is the nature. Poles. Even some people know in young days they will be very angry, then they will mellow down and they will be very good. They will have been very good in the young days and they will become very angry in the old days. All poles is the nature. No? So impermanence is the nature of this earth, impermanence. So we have to, as adults, we can just take the qualities of this. So for children, we can just tell the cow had so many paws. That's all. Certain things we can tell.